Number one problem that we have is surface water runoff and pollutants just coming from our catch basins and our storm drains. So such as your fertilizers, your animal waste, your plastics, things that we refer to as people pollution or non-point source pollution. The main thing being done would be education. Most people don't put the connection together that the storm drains are actually eventually discharging into our bays and into our oceans directly, and that they shouldn't be used as trash receptacles. So what the New Jersey DEP has people do, all the municipalities are responsible for putting little placards on top of their storm drains to remind the citizens that live in a community that all the water is going to be draining to a body of water. So most importantly, it's education. Once you tell someone that their waste is going to end up there, of course they're going to stop dumping it there because everyone enjoys our waterways and our beaches.
I would think here at Montclair University, big environmental issue is where the students getting their food from. I think a lot of the students that live here on campus, they really don't know where their food is coming from, or they don't really trust the food that they're eating here. Another big issue I think here, water bottle usage. There's a lot of kids here use way too many water bottles, and a lot of us know how big of a problem that is.
Environmentally on campus, the students aren't really aware of what's going on. I have an unlimited meal plan, and sometimes though I feel guilty about it. I'll bring back my food and I realize that it's probably just going to go in the garbage. And a lot of people just aren't aware of like the small things like a water bottle, or you're leaving the light on, or the faucet's running while you're brushing your teeth. It adds up, and just like these little tiny acts just of consciousness and awareness, you can really cut back on your carbon footprint.
Well, in this state that's one of the most densely populated in this country, I think pollution is a huge issue here. This is like the heart of the Industrial Revolution, so a lot of the factories are still here polluting. And yeah, I think it's really dense, the dense population makes for a lot of environmental issues here.
Beach Sweeps program, it's through Clean Ocean Action, and I started doing the beach sweeps when I was the same age as my students now. When I was a student at Brookdale Community College, my instructor for oceanography recommended that we all do the beach sweep up at Sandy Hook. And it's a pretty amazing day in the fact that the first time I went out there when I was a student, I didn't realize how much waste was actually on the beaches because you're not paying attention to looking at it. So I'm lucky enough that now I can kind of pay it forward or play it forward and introduce the students on campus to be involved in it. So it's offered twice a year, or it's organized twice a year, and it's through Clean Ocean Action. And they run a cleanup either in the spring, and then they do one in the fall as well. And about 200 beaches are getting cleaned up by volunteers. The volunteers actually record the material that's being found, and these reports get put together by the Clean Ocean Action, and then they get sent to the state. So the state can keep track of what type of waste is washing up on our beaches. What's interesting is to see the evolution of the waste. From when I was a student to now being an instructor, it used to always be cigarette butts and things along those lines. And now the waste has changed over to plastics and bottle caps and plastic bottles. So you can actually see the transition of what's going on in our environment.
Okay, my name is Gray Russell, and I'm the Sustainability Officer for the Township of Montclair. I run the Office of Environmental Affairs. We're always trying to reduce the gallons that we use in our township fleet. That's the gas and diesel that runs our vehicles. So we're always trying to make our fleet smarter and more efficient, and therefore that saves us money as well.
Let's just say like a glass of orange juice, it's more than just one orange that goes into that orange juice. I could say at least 100 into like a gallon of orange juice. So you really don't notice how long it takes things. I have a garden in my backyard, and I probably waited all summer to get around 20 tomatoes. Meanwhile, I could go to the supermarket 5 minutes down the road, and I can get as many as I want. I don't think about how long it takes for that to grow. Transportation, a lot of food travels around the world just to get in front of you on your plate. And just the small things you really don't realize that how things get to where they are in front of you. So Montclair State University, we have a solar farm that's above Lot 60. It also doubles as rain protection, which is very convenient, and you're also collecting energy at the same time.
Using renewable energy is a great solution to burning fossil fuels, which is one of the biggest issues overall, not just here in this state or in this country, but all around.
Here on campus, we're planning to build the Earthship, which is a fully sustainable building, and we want it to fit in on campus. And there's a bunch of different ways that we're making it to do that, while also stand out and educate other people that see it and walk by. And if you do see it, you'll probably be more than interested to stop by. Inside, it will be hydroponic systems, fully reusable rainwater, solar power. Essentially, you'll have vertical gardens. You could grow anything year-round inside this building. These technologies are huge in Newark right now. They have the world's largest vertical garden in Newark, of all places.
Well, students can contribute by, first of all, being really aware of their footprint with all of their actions.
Every person on campus can make the smallest step, but it's always in the right direction if you're thinking about it.
Be cognitive of what's going on around them. You know, if they see a piece of plastic blowing, just to pick it up. If they see storm drains being blocked by leaves or other debris, just don't leave it up to the municipality to do the cleanup. If it's by their front lawn, just go pick it up and clean it up. And just take one more piece out of the puzzle for people to try to resolve. And realizing where your drinking water supply is coming from, where your recreational use water is coming from, what you're actually putting down on your lawns and your pesticides, and see what impact it's actually having. To see a bigger picture, to be able to tie all the small things together and actually see how everything ties itself together, and that it works in you're just one cog in the wheel. So if you hurt one part of the environment, it's going to impact somewhere else down the line. And just that they pay attention and they treat the environment and themselves well.
For a person individually, it goes back to the toothpaste where the water's running. It's just really being appreciative and knowing what you're doing and what you could be doing. And if you do what you could be doing, you're going the right way. It's really green, and in doing so, we have a huge world with a lot of people, and we have to be appreciative of this rock that we're living on. It's really convenient that I think the fact that we're alive is awesome. And to appreciate that in the smallest way, just when you wake up in the morning, I feel like it's a great way to live your life and can't go back. We're bringing back the garden to the Garden State.